and only happen to a guy like me.
You don't want to stick around Chicago.
My kind of town, Chicago is.
You ain't gotta do this.
I feel like I do.
Joseph, good morning.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I am just so thrilled to talk to you today because Power Book 4 Force is, I've watched all the different Power Book series, and this is turning out to be my favorite, even though STARZ only gave me one episode, which was cruel.
That is, man. I wish you got at least the first three.
Oh, absolutely. So, man, but this is turning out to be my favorite series so far. What's with the parking in Chicago? Tommy Egan can't even park his car without attracting trouble.
You know, I blame Rahm Emanuel when I think that all started when they sold. I think it was Rahm who sold, or maybe it was even Daley who sold all the meters to privatize the meters rather than having the public meters where you just put in a coin. And I think that's it. But I have to say that New York in reality is harder to park in than Chicago. But I don't think anywhere is as hard as Los Angeles. But I don't know. I think it's a reflection. I think everybody can relate to having parking troubles these days.
Yeah, but gangsters don't show up when you try to park your car, though. Here,
that's right. Because I think that we showed that in the Power Show that when Tommy opened up his glove compartment, it was full of tickets in one of the episodes. I think that the same thing is going to happen in Chicago. Hopefully, the car doesn't get towed.
Tommy Egan's heading through Chicago. He's traveling 100 miles an hour with no lights. Tommy has a lot of baggage, but I love that first scene where we see what he's feeling. It sets up the whole show.
Larissa, I'm so happy you mentioned that. So the director, Larissa Kondracki, really trusted in me setting that up because that was certainly one of my favorite parts of that pilot episode was that first 2 minutes where there's no dialogue. And yet we know exactly what's happening to Tommy and exactly what he's feeling. And I hope for more of that throughout the seasons, just living with Tommy, because I think that we get to learn his inner workings in a lot of the silences.
The Flynn family runs Chicago, but Tommy doesn't know better. I love that line. I have a short fuse, but a long memory.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means. So I just kind of tried to make it work in some capacity.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool. I just have no idea what it means, actually.
Tommy making a name for himself in Chicago, he's literally starting from the ground up, which is fascinating, how it all begins.
Yeah, and that's a really great point, Jeff, that Tommy is a shell of a man right now. So we see Tommy at a very empty part. So it's almost like watching a flashback, because now we're going to learn the elements that Tommy used to fill himself up. Where does he find family? Because we always saw him in search of family. How does he make his connections? How does he build up his empire? How does he get to the Tommy that we were introduced to in Power? Because right now he has nothing, but he has all of that experience that we watched on the Power Show and even in the Ghost Show. So now we get to see him in the Force Show, filling himself up, making new connections, and taking over the Chi-Town.
And tell me about that phone call. Did 50 Cent call you and say, "Hey, Joseph, we got your own show for you"?
He did. Yeah, he did. And he told me to be patient, because he did right after the Power Show was over. He said, this is going to happen. You just got to be patient. We got all these different things that are working, strategizing, making things happen. So, there was a certain amount of patience, but also a certain amount of trust from somebody that I truly respect.
Are you a fan of Chicago now? Because the entire series was shot there, right?
The entire series was shot there. Yeah. But, Jeff, I was born and raised in Chicago, actually, and lived there till I was 21 years old. So then when I moved to New York, it's going to kind of a reacquaintance of the city where I'm from. So, but it was brand new to me in a lot of ways, because you can never really go home again. Now I go back to visit my parents or my cousins, but even friends. But the city has changed, even from the street dynamic of gangs and cops and robbers, and also the law. The law has changed a lot in Chicago and how things are taken care of. So relearning that, art was imitating life. Tommy was learning about Chicago, and I was relearning about the city that I used to know, but it was very different.
Well, Joseph, congratulations, man. What a great series so far. I'm so happy for you. And when you have a chance, come visit us in Las Vegas, and I'll come to Chicago.
Oh, you know what? I promise I will do that.
Wonderful. Good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.